Hey everybody, ChristopherOdd here. Welcome to an odd look at Spud's Quest. What is Spud's Quest, you ask? Well, this originated on Kickstarter back in November of last year. It was successfully funded. It's made in the UK by an individual named Chris Davis. I believe he did everything himself. He raised about 6,000 British pounds on his Kickstarter campaign and started asking for 5. So we went quite over what he was asking for, and I think there was over 400 backers, which is pretty great, I think, to see people supporting games like this. Spud's Quest is kind of described as being influenced by games like Zelda, Metroid, that old kind of genre of gaming. It's got a lot of point-and-click adventure aspects, but it's not a point-and-click game. So what I mean by that is there's a lot of story, there's a lot of paying attention to what certain characters need and want and helping them out in order to help further progress. You'll also see that there's two individuals. There's Spud, the blue guy, and then there's a frog, and we'll learn a little bit about him right at the start. I've played for about 5 or 10 minutes, and I'm pretty into this. This is a lot different from what I would normally play, but I kind of missed out on this generation of gaming when the Zelda games were really all the rage back in the day, and I am gonna make up for it with Spud's Quest. So let's take a look at this and talk about it for a while. You'll see here that we have a couple of different modes. We have adventure mode and we have battle mode. There's also a leaderboard section, and then you can just leave. But battle mode is basically a 2 to 4 player battle that you can have, and I'm not going to spend a lot of time in there because I tend to focus more on the story elements. So we're going to go into adventure mode and see what I can show you guys. We're gonna go with a new adventure, and since this game is called Spud's Quest, I have to name this after my Irish friends that I play Dota with. And this is what they all start their nicknames with on Dota. So I feel it's only appropriate to do so. You hear a distant voice calling out from the edges of the dreamscape. An ancient evil has been disturbed in the deep. I have been taken prisoner and in need of rescue. Can you hear my call? Are you the hero that will answer it? Spud! Frog is saying croak. Alright. My roof. Why, you little... Spud, I need your help. It's me, Prince Charming. I've been cursed by some loopy old wizard. Huh? This is some kind of wind-up? No, I was poking around down in Redwood Mine, and I came across a buried chest. I assumed it'd be full of trinkets, but turns out it was a magical prison holding an evil wizard. He zapped me into this frog, yapped on about revenge against the royal line, then vanished. My dream. You mentioned something about an evil uncovered in the deep. Was that you calling out to me for help? What? No. I may be quick-witted and dashingly good-looking, but I'm definitely not psychic. Look, I need to get to see my father, the king, in Redwood Castle to tell him about this, but his castle guards won't let me get near the place. Will you help get me inside? Why can't you just tell them who you are? Are you insane? I can't have the whole of Redwood knowing the valiant Prince Charming has been reduced to this. I'd never live it down. Will you help me or not? Fine. You can tell Spud's a real go-getter. Wonderful. First then, let's get out of your grotty little hut, go grab your key over there, pick it up with the action button, and we'll do that. So, this can be played with the keyboard or with a gamepad. I'm playing it with a gamepad. It's an Xbox 360 controller plugged into the PC. And when you first start up the configuration file, it'll ask you to map the buttons for how you'd like to use it, which is really cool. And it works really well. So we're gonna grab the key with the action button. Good, now the key's been added to your inventory. The action button is used to pick up items, access your inventory, and drop items. To use an item on an object or a person, just simply drop it in the right place. Go ahead, drop that key you just picked up on your door to open it. So you've got a limited inventory of, I believe, 4 slots, and that does come into play a little bit. But now what we need to do is access the inventory. It's the same button that we used to pick it up, and then we'll drop it in front of the door. So the door is locked, drop your key on it to unlock it. Select the door key. You'll also see in this menu that we've got quest status. It tracks all of our playtime and our completion percentage. And then there's also things that you can collect and upgrade along the way, like some trinkets. I'll show you one of those. Life upgrades, ability scrolls, and I haven't run into any of those yet. So let's drop our door key on the door. We unlock the door. Using the right item in the right place is the key to making progress. Now let's get to Redwood Castle. Press up to go through doorways. So that's our goal right now, is get Prince Charming here back to the castle so we can talk to his father and be like, listen, I'm your son the frog. Oh, okay. I actually just left. That floating blue crystal is a save point. Remember to save your progress regularly. So, what happens here is if you come out of this door too quickly, you'll just fall right down. This is Spud's Places where we start, and you can talk to any individuals that you see along the way. Oh, hi, Spud. Didn't see you there. Ruby said she needed to speak with you about something urgent. All right, thanks. Is that a pet frog? Pet? Get stuffed. Some of the humor in this is actually, I really enjoy it. Now we do have this little mechanic where we can switch between Spud and the frog. So you'll see that sometimes when we switch, it's weird. Sometimes you fall through the ground to him, like that. And I'm not sure yet how the actual frog mechanic works, because I haven't had to use it yet, but I imagine that there's going to be points where you need to get into certain areas, and you have to use a frog to do that. So we'll see. But she said we have to go talk to Ruby, and you can see Ruby's house is up there. So there is like a little bit of a ledge grabbing mechanic, which is awesome. Feels really good to control, and just really, really clean is the best way I can describe it. All right, Rubes. Spud, just the guy I needed to see. Are you busy right now? Oh, good. Would you mind helping me out? Obviously, the frog's thinking we don't have any time for this. Well, it's just that there's a bee's nest outside my hut, and I daren't leave. In fact, there's 3 of them around the village. Would you be a darling and take care of them? Just use the attack button to deal with them. Okay, leave it to me. Thanks, come see me when you're done. So, as with any adventure game, there's always a whole bunch of characters that really have no clue how to survive in life unless you're around. So you can see the bee's nest up there. We're just going to attack. And there's 3 more that we have to clear out. I'm not exactly sure what we're throwing. I want to imagine that they're potatoes. But maybe that's kind of morbid, considering I think we are some type of weird blue potato. But you never know. So we need to go looking around for the other beehives. And we find one right here. And I could talk to all of these people, but when somebody gives me a quest, I like to handle it the best way that I can. I just happen to know where the other beehive is, so I'm gonna come in here and do it. There we go. So now we're gonna go back, let her know, hey, beehives are taken care of, and see what she has to say. Then bees' nests won't be bothering you anymore. Wonderful, you're so brave. Oh, one more thing, of course. Could you pass this parcel to the postman? He dropped it earlier, just outside. Of course, the frog's already getting irritated. Are you some kind of errand boy? We need to get to the castle. I'm just trying to help my neighbors, man. All right, so let's grab this parcel. And now, what happens is you're gonna run into a lot of different situations where you find these different items laying around, like up here, for example. You see that there's some type of, it looks like a flute, and I only am saying that because this guy's playing some type of instrument. It might not be a flute, I don't know yet. But you can grab all the items that'll fit into your 4 slots. I find that it's probably better to just make note of where they are. Like this one, right? We know that the pick is up here. We can come back and get it later. Some houses you can go into, but usually if the door is closed, you can't go in. So now what we need to do is figure out, okay, we've got this parcel. Who would want this parcel? Well, I'll show you who wants this parcel. The postman, how embarrassing. Thought I'd finish my deliveries early. Turns out there was a huge hole in my parcel bag. I'll probably get the sack for this. Yeah. But we do have a parcel, so we're gonna give it to him. One of my parcels, thanks for returning it. Looks like there's some more missing though, of course. So, what we're gonna do is we're gonna look around and try to find some parcels for this guy. There's also, like, you can interact with a lot of different things. This is a statue, it's missing its warp stone. At this point, I don't know what a warp stone is, but if I find one, I know where it goes. The signs you can read, welcome to Redwood Forest. So you could see, I don't know, this has like a little shiny kind of reflection that shows you it's something you can interact with. So we picked up a tube of toothpaste. How that comes in, I have no idea, but we do see another parcel up there. So if we make note here, it's in front of a giant tree. So if we make our way back up and we try to find this giant tree, we can probably figure out how to get the parcel. This game is the best way I can describe this would be charming. You know, the music is well done. I like the characters. It kind of remind me of Smurfs for obvious reasons. But it's just really enjoyable, and some of the dialogue's actually pretty funny. So here's the giant tree. We obviously can't jump down to get to the ledge with the parcel. So let's go into Mick's hut here. And you'll notice that we can't, okay? So you'll also see that it is actually nighttime right now. This game has kind of a live updating of day and night. Some things you can do during the day, some things you can't. And I believe we have to talk to Mick during the daytime since his doors are locked right now. Alvin, I'm expecting a parcel, but my excitement is turning into boredom. Just where on earth is that postman? So for now, we can't get into Mick's place, but we do have Molly over here, and if you look up there in the top right, we see another parcel. Something's not right. Redwood Castle is all closed off. Maybe the king's been killed. Or the prince has been kidnapped. We know the prince is our frog friend. Anything could have happened. If I could get in, then I'd find out. Really? Hey, didn't Alvin say he had a pass to get inside? Okay, so that's kind of another clue. So if we find Alvin, we can find out about the pass to get inside the castle to help our friend the frog. So we tried to go into Molly's diner. It's open 24/7, but closed until further notice. I think that's cute. What we can do is jump on top of her house, and here's one of my little nitpicks, okay? So you see this house? Can't jump on top of it. I don't get why, I don't know. This one we can jump on top of. So I don't know if that's a design choice, but it doesn't make it super clear. I mean, yes, there's a ledge up here, but there's other ledges that are above houses that you cannot jump on. So that's that. So I'm gonna jump over, grab the parcel, and if I stay on that cloud long enough, I'll show you, I'll just fall through. And now that the sun is starting to come up, we can probably go back and see the other person, but let's talk to people on our way. Actually, let's read this sign first. Wanted dead or alive. Bomb to battle for possession of an offensive wife. Okay. See, that's what I'm talking about. Some of these are pretty good. Miller finally caught me fishing over at Starfall Lake. Threw a right tantrum about it, he did. So anyway, I'm just trying to find a new spot to settle in. Okay. This is a know-it-all. Between me and my brothers, we know everything. Is that so? Prove it then. Where am I heading right now? Let me think. You're trying to get inside Redwood Castle, yeah? Okay, well, he's right. We've got a shiny flower here. Let's pick that up. Why not? And here's the castle. If we try to get in, Alfred is going to stop me. At the behest of King Arthur, no one shall enter the castle. I have important information for the king. I will decide if it's important, and if so, we'll pass on the message. But it's for the king's ears only. Sorry, but orders are orders. Unless you have an invite from the king, you can't enter. What an idiot. We need to find a way to get inside. So I don't know if the frog can only communicate with me, or if he can communicate with other people, but perhaps we'll find out down the road. So here's an example, okay? This is an example where there's a ledge above this tree, but you can't jump on the hut for whatever reason. So we say, good day. Woodcutter Willis says, is it? My wife left me, my son's in jail, and I'm an alcoholic. What's good about it? Well, you're alive. Barely. I don't know. I just find that kind of stuff funny. Okay, so let's make our way back up now. We'll save our game. You can save at any time that you're passing by this gem, and it just creates multiple save files that you can access later if you'd like. We had to go to Ruby's, but we can also jump across here. And that's part of the exploration aspect. Sometimes you'll think there's just kind of a dead end near the edge of your screen, but if you jump across, then you'll find a ledge more often than not. So now Mixed Place is available to enter. What's with the intrusion, pal? What's with the hole in your floor? Ha, just wondering that myself. So he's got a giant hole in his floor, and if you're paying attention, you can probably guess where that's gonna lead. Perfect. So we've got another parcel now, which means we actually have, if we check our inventory, we have a heavy parcel and a featherweight parcel in addition to the other one that we found. So we're gonna go back to the postman, drop off his parcels. Looks like there's some more missing, so we'll give him both. Maybe I can hang on to my job after all. Well, I'd better run along and get these delivered. Thanks again, see you around. So Spud, remind me why we're running around playing Superman. Have some faith. It's all part of the master plan. Redwood mine, no unauthorized entry. Pants must be worn at all times. So let's check out this mine. You know, sometimes, like with the parcel guy, the postman, you're thinking, well, maybe he'll give you something else and things like that, but sometimes it doesn't work like that. You just give it to him, he's like, okay, bye. But I'll show you what that means in a second. Oi! There's a dig going on down here. We've had some scallywag pinching our finds, so we're limiting entrance to workers only. So I can't jump past him. This is kind of one of those situations where I thought, okay, if I try with the frog, then maybe I can go past, but you still can't. And we saw earlier that on this sign here, it was saying, well, you can only enter if you have pants. So I'm probably gonna have to find some form of pants to wear, and then I can get into that mine. Now you'll see up here above this hut, my frog is actually able to get up there, but I cannot reach it. There's nothing I can do. I can't jump on the barrels to get up or anything, but my frog can. Unfortunately, that doesn't really help me. I can control him, but you can't actually access items with him. So again, as I said, I'm not sure how it's gonna come into play, but that is one of the collectible trinkets, and I think we could probably figure out how to get there. Yes. Sorry, I'm in the middle of something right now. Books are my passion. Unless you have any for sale, then I have no time to talk. Okay, so if we ever find a book, we know where to bring it. But he does have something up here, some type of blue herb. I have no clue what that does. Water will damage you, best to stay out of it for now. Okay, that's a note from Prince Charming, so thanks, Prince. Miller's Ferry Crossing costs 5 coins, strictly no fishing. Oh, I think this is the guy who the little fisher person was talking about, saying that he basically kicked him out of that area. So I like how these little, I don't know if you'd call it like little stories, but all these little characters have these interactions that are happening without you really needing to be there. So Alvin finally got his parcel, better late than never, right? The postie tells me you had a hand in it. Appreciate it, pal. If there's any way I can help you, then give me a shout. And this is where we call in our favors. I hear you have a pass to get inside the castle. Do you mind if I use it? A pass. Oh. Sure, here's my pass. You can use it on the castle upstairs window. So you'll see he tosses down a crowbar for us, which is pretty awesome. Okay, so now we're thinking, okay, we have to get into the castle, and we have to get upstairs. We know the castle's to the right, but the only thing we've seen of it so far is the entrance, which is obviously blocked. So what I'm gonna do is show off my extremely exceptional platforming skills. That's all sarcasm. But if we jump on these clouds, we have limited time before we fall through them to make it in here. And last time I did this, I didn't see the princess inside. So depending on day or night, different things are happening, that's actually even better than I anticipated. That's cool. If only I had something to pry it open with. There we go. Such a vandal. Now, I don't know if she's gonna freak out on me or not, but they locked my poor Tom up in the dungeon. They won't even let me see him until I've been questioned. He only stole the boatman's motor in self-defense. Interesting. So, here is the royal invitation, which means we can now get into the castle. We obviously don't have a key, so we can't leave here just yet. But that's interesting that the princess is now there. Really cool. So if I go here, this is about the point where I got to when I was just running through it to check things out. So, at behest of King Arthur, no one shall enter the castle. I have important information for the king. I'll decide, and it's for the king's ears only. So, one thing that I wish you could do, I wish that the interaction button and the use button was different, because sometimes you have to just fly through those conversations again. It's not a big time investment, but you still have to go through it to be able to access your inventory. And you have to access the inventory quite quickly after the conversation happens. So you'll see here, I'm using the same button to go through all of this. So now we have the royal invitation. Looks legit, obviously. Before you enter, I must warn you that the king is not himself of late, so try not to be alarmed. All right, so we're in, surprisingly. Oh, everybody's a frog. That's actually kind of funny. Mom, Dad, son? So Queen Guinevere and King Arthur. You can see a couple of references there. Oh dear, what's this all about? Where have you been? Some evil old wizard put a curse on us. Wizard? Oh dear, could it be Panchos? But he was imprisoned ages ago. Yeah, he was. Not now, though. But how? Did you... It was an accident. Son, do you realize what you've set free? Oh, so it's his fault. Some daft wizard who likes turning people into frogs? He's not just some wizard. He's probably the most evil, powerful wizard to have lived. And he was locked away for good reason. Yeah, but what are we gonna do about it? That's the question. I suggest you travel west and see my old friend Merlin. He should have an answer. Merlin? That old timer's still alive? I'm assuming they're referring to, like, Merlin the wizard. Show some respect. I haven't seen him in years, but as far as I know, he's still around. We need to keep news of this tragic curse from spiraling out of control. The king has many enemies in lands afar who would see this as an ideal time to attack. The fewer people who know about this, the better. The castle shall remain in lockdown. Apart from you two, none shall enter and none shall leave. Spud, would you mind assisting my son to Merlin's tower? Sure. It's west, beyond the river, right? That's correct. Merlin's magic will be able to lift this rotten curse. He gave me a spare key to his tower. I believe it's up in the attic. Take it with you. Okay. So now we'll make our way up to the attic. You also see there's a dungeon involved, but it's locked. Look at the white flag. I don't know if that's kind of a throwback to Mario, but that's pretty cool. I figure with all this going on, there's no time for gags, but they won't let us leave the castle in case we let slip what's happened, which means I'm incredibly bored. Oh, we do see a key up here, but I can't quite reach it. I don't think... See, here's another one of those situations where, I don't know how to get that key just yet, because the frog can't do anything for me. So perhaps I'm just not able to reach it yet. And I can't grab it in the air. So we will have to wait and see if that's accessible. Sleeping quarters, hello. Gemma. If you press the action button in front of a bed, you can sleep in it. Till morning, till nightfall. Let's go till nightfall. And you can see a ladder. Oh, nice, see? It kind of pays to experiment a little bit and see what you can and what you can't jump on. But we found the attic. Oh. Okay, let's take this thing down, because he's definitely gonna hurt. There we go. For whatever reason, it dropped something. I don't know what that is, but I can't grab it. And you can see that there's a little trinket up top there, too. Oh, now this is a key for Merlin's place, so it's obviously not going to open any of the doors inside. Let's see where else we can go. Nothing that we can do up here just yet. But it looks like if those ledges come down, that's where we can get up to that gem that we saw earlier. And there's another gem behind that door. I don't think, actually I should try this, but I don't think we can grab onto the ledge of the wood. Yeah, no, we can't. So we'll figure that out eventually, but we got the key to Merlin's tower, which is what's important. And so we're gonna head left. Check that out. It probably pays to, it's probably worthwhile is what I mean, to explore a lot in all of these different areas to find as much as you can. Maybe some of these doors are open at night, I'm not sure. But let's see if we can now cross the river to go to Merlin's place. We may still not be able to go, and there may be things that we need to do in this area because there's quite a few people that we haven't even really talked to yet. Oh, let me show you how to get one of these gems and what that looks like, because for some people, collectibles are such a huge thing. Basically, just fall off the ledge, or sorry. You want to jump off the ledge. Oh, my bad. Yeah, it's actually one higher. Jump from Sam's place. There we go. You found a trinket. So there's actually 50 of these in the game. We've seen, what, 3 of them in total? So I believe the game does offer quite a bit of content. Why isn't the ferry running? Oh, some idiot has made off with the boat's motor. Well, that's annoying. Any idea who? I don't know. I hear they've thrown a suspect in the castle dungeon, though. Okay, so now we need to go to the castle dungeon to find the motor, right? So you can kind of see how things go. I think this is a good point to stop, but I know I've talked a lot over this, but it's just because this is so fascinating to me. It's such a cool game. I think that it's really clean, it's really well made. There's a couple of minor issues I have with it. I don't know, like I wish it would explain to me why I can switch to this frog, because as of right now, it's just there. You probably gets explained in a little while. The thing about not knowing which ledges you can jump to bothers me a little bit. But what I can pick as some gripes, I can more than make up for in a lot of the other areas. Like the music is fantastic. The way that you grapple onto the ledges just feels really polished. It's hard to describe. I love the interaction between the characters. I love kind of the cliched story, but kind of the gruff characters. They're really funny. They all have their own little backstories and things. And I just think it's really charming. It's a nice, enjoyable game that I think I'll probably spend some more time with. and it's a lot different from anything I've ever played, but at the end of the day, that's kind of why I like it so much, I think. It's really cheap to buy. If you guys want to check it out, go to spudsquest.com. It's one guy who made the game. He's doing it all on his own. He seems like a really great guy in my very small, limited interactions with him. And I want to say thanks to him for letting me check out this game and show it to you guys. So I hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you guys next time. Thanks, bye.